Hello there. I have moved on to song number 5 on this album. This song is called This Is Just the Beginning, and it's kind of like a transition kind of song in the album. It's like you have the first 4 songs are kind of one story, and then it sort of expands into sort of a more grand story. I don't know, it'll make sense when you hear the whole thing. I think there are some really cool parts. As it stands, it needs some work, it needs some things added to it to really bring it to life, really get it to come out of its shell. What I've done off camera, I ended up re-recording a couple vocal tracks because some of the things I recorded for this were just god-awful and I needed to fix it. Then I did all the standard stuff. I cut out the breaths on the vocals, I did some tuning, fixed the volume levels, and then I ended up doing all the basic like mastering, brought the master back, put all the effects on the vocals that I normally do that you saw from last video. Pretty much just all the basic stuff that you've seen already. So I thought I'd jump in here instead of showing you all that stuff again, because again, you've seen it. What I'm looking at right now is just adding some parts, maybe adding some things to kind of beef it up, get it more dense. So I'll show you this part here. After the second chorus, which is the last chorus, there's this vocal part that I had to tune a lot because it was really hard for me to sing. They sound okay, but I think it needs more instrumentally to really make this part kind of the grand part that I want it to be. You'll hear what I'm talking about. I never got this far. It sounds good, you know, the groove is there and there's all these parts that are kind of dazzling around. I don't know any better word to use. That word doesn't even really make sense, but it's the word that came to mind. It needs something that kind of comes out like and sort of splashes. I don't know. I can obviously have a crash cymbal and I think I'll probably do that as the first thing, but I think it'll need something beyond that. I'll take a look at that. Let's see what we can do. All right, so I got a crash cymbal here. I'm gonna record it right now. There's kind of some delay. If you can see, like when I press this, it plays way after I press it, so I'm not gonna be able to play it on time, but we'll see. This is what quantizing is for. Okay, now it's rhythmically perfect, so let's hear it. So let's bring it over to the right. I think the right side needs it. So also what I'm thinking needs to be here is some kind of lead part that kind of comes up and wing. That's what I need. It needs to go wing. I'm going to try and play this part. Again, there's some lag, so it's going to be really hard to play it right, but I'm going to do my best. Yeah, the whole thing was way off, so I drag them over there. Now it should be good. Just because it has this thing where it glides, when there's 2 notes that overlap, it blends them a bit, it like blends between them, and you don't get that strong punch. You only get it on the first note. Kind of ends up making this more dynamic than I'd like it to be. So what I'm going to do to fix that is do a little thing called force legato. Now every single note will punch. Obviously it's way too loud, and I think this is the wrong instrument, honestly. So I'm going to take a look at other instruments. That's the one. Just turn this into a dubstep song. Say that doesn't sound good, I'm going to try one other thing. I'm going to add some reverb onto this bad boy. So here's what it sounds like just with the basic reverb. Compared to. So it's better, but with reverb you got dry and wet. I can turn down the dry. So if I turn it down to 0, it's only just the reverb sound. But we want some, so some instrument. So So I'm going to turn up the wet to 50%, so they're both at 50%. Let's hear that with the mix. So I think that sounds pretty decent, but what I want to check is, does it really add anything to this second half of the chorus? I never got this far. I'm still not totally sure about it, but I did realize that something I do want is a ride cymbal part. That's something that I do a lot, is I'll add a ride cymbal just going... I don't know, it has a certain effect that just makes things bigger. I don't know if I like that. Why does that sound so weird? Let's try a different kid. Okay, I like that a lot better. It needs one more part and then I think it'll be pretty solid. I'm just gonna keep searching for a part. I'll come back when I've found something. Okay, I got it. So we've got ambient lead that I did before. And then I added this soft synth bell part, which goes like this. They sound like this. Then we can add the drums and the bass. Let's hear the whole second chorus, and you can hear how they kind of come in and really bring that second half to life. You can hear that ride cymbal too. Really adds on. Doesn't add like a ton. It's not like it really punches you in the face, but kind of rounds out and fills out the chorus, that second part, because really the vocals just aren't going to do that. I don't really love that vocal part too much. I think it works for what it's doing, but really the instruments need to kind of take hold of the chorus during that part, and I think those parts help it do that. Beyond that, I mean, I'm gonna just be doing kind of all the standard stuff, you know, going in and like messing with volumes of things. Like I'm probably gonna end up turning down some instruments in that chorus because I think the vocals get a little bit buried. I think I'm gonna need to compress this whole song more, but nothing I haven't done before, I don't think. So my guess is this will probably be the first and last video about this song. I think it's kind of coming together. It seems to be working what I'm doing. Yeah, then we're halfway done with this album, which is like kind of crazy. I thought I'd show you just a little bit of this process. I think this gives a little bit of insight into how I come up with arrangements. That's gonna be all for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like this video and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Big Time Carl Ward, and all of those places. And listen to Don't Take It Away, because it's out. It's been out for a little while. It's a nice song. It plays at the end of all of these videos, so you'll hear a little bit of it, but you could also go listen to the whole thing, because there's a whole song. I will see you in the next video. Hopefully we'll be on to song 6 by then. Far away, it's a place I got to be. Every time in my mind you follow me. Don't take it away.